All right, which formula cannot be used to find the perimeter of a rectangle? Well, first I'm going to draw a rectangle. Perimeter is where you add up all of your sides. So length, length, width, width. So we're looking for which one cannot be used. Well, length plus width plus length plus width is just adding all those up. So that one is true. Twice the length plus twice the width. I have 2 lengths. I have 2 widths. So that is true. Twice 2LW. When everything's all smushed together, that means multiply. 2 times the length times the width. That's not what I do. I have to do twice and use my distributive property to get 2L plus 2 times W, 2W, which is correct. So we have to have that distributive property if we're going to do that. My husband, Ty, he just had to find the perimeter of something because he's building a cat litter box for my cat Levi. So Levi is getting a litter box, which we now know the perimeter of it. So Levi is getting it. Okay, what is the area of a triangle that has a base of 17 inches and a height of 24 inches? Draw the picture. Has a base of 17. Has a height of 24. Height has to go straight up and down. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's the dashed line, so this is 24. The slant is not the same thing as the height. Okay, formula for a triangle. Area equals base times the height divided by 2. When I plug in my numbers, area equals base times height, 17 in parentheses, so that means multiply, divide by 2. So I have to do some multiplication. 17 times 24, 8, 6, done with the 4. So 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. Add that together. Okay, 408. But we have to remember to divide by 2. So 408 divided by 2 is 2 times. That's 4. 0 times. So now I have to bring down the 8, and 2 groups of 4 are in 8. So my answer is 204 inches squared. Okay, you have 2 squares that have sides equal to 5 inches. Squares have equal side lengths. So here's one square. It has 5 all the way around. Here's my other square. It has 5 all the way around. What is the perimeter? So again, we're going around. What is the perimeter if the 2 squares are put together to make a rectangle? Well, when I put that square there and that square there, I know this is 5, this is 5. I'm finding perimeter only. That's 5. So I have to add all that up. So on my top, now my picture actually looks like 5 plus 5 is 10. So 10 is on the bottom. 5 and 5. This is 10, 20, 25, 30. Perimeter is just simply inches. Just inches. Picture below is made of a square. Square simply means all sides are equal, and an isosceles triangle. It says find the area of the shaded region. So I have a couple things I have to do. First, I'm going to find the area of my big whole triangle. So this area equals base times height, divide by 2. So my base is at the bottom, is 14. Area equals 14 times my height. Well, my height here is the 10, and it's the dashed line, and it's going from the top down to the bottom, times 10, divide by 2. So area equals 14 times 10 is just 140, divide by 2 is 70. That's the whole thing. I don't want the whole thing. I am now going to find the area of the square. Area equals base times height. So if one side is 6, my other side is also 6. So I'm just going to do 6 times 6, which equals 36. And then my last step is, since I'm only wanting the shaded part, I have to subtract out the area of that square. I have to subtract 36. So 70 minus 36. So 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 3 is 3. 34. And it's square units. So B. Do you know where Miss Poston and Miss Kavanaugh's favorite lunch place is? It's Schlotsky's Deli, and it's right down the street. Very easy. We love Schlotsky's. Alyssa is getting a new window put above her front door. The window has 3 congruent means same size, rectangular sections and 3 congruent triangle sections, as seen below. Find the total area of the pieces of glass that will be installed. So I'm finding, these are all of our glass pieces. I have to find all of that. So the window has 3 congruent rectangular. Well, I'm going to find, and we're talking area here, so I need to find the area of my rectangles. So my area is base times height. My base, if I'm looking at my rectangles, is 12, and my height is 5. So 12 times 5 is 60. So I know this is 60, this is 60, and this is 60. Then I have to find my triangles. Well, triangle, the area equals base times height divided by 2. So I need my base. My base is 10. My height is the dashed line, and it's 8. And all of them are the same because it says they're congruent. So base is 10 times the height, which is 8, divided by 2. So this equals 10 times 8 is 80, divided by 2 is 40. So I know that's 40, and that's 40. Well, finding the area of all of that, I have to add it up. So I have 60, 60, and 60. I have 40, 40, and 40 that I'm going to add together. 3 groups of 6 is 18. 3 groups of 4 is 12. Add those together. 180 plus 120 is, that's a 10, is a 300, which is answer choice A. Square units, because we found area. Okay, find the area of the rectangles, find the area of the triangles, and you have to add those together. The length of one base of a trapezoid is 20.5 inches, and the height is 4.5. Which of the following is an equation that cannot be used to find the length of the other base, B, if the total area is 80 square inches? First, we have a trapezoid. I know that my formula, my generic formula, is area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. They gave us 3 of these letters, so either the A, the B, or the H. And we are trying to just find a formula. It doesn't say solve. So they all have an 80 where the area goes. So I'm looking for, when I add together a base 1 and a base 2, so 20.5, that's plus B, that's good. 20.5 plus B, B plus 20.5, that's good. 20.5, so they all have that. Do they all have an H? Let's look for the height. It says the height is 4.5, so I'm looking for a multiplication of 4.5. Here's my height, 4.5. Doesn't look like there's a height here. Up here we have a 4.5, and we're multiplying. It's right next to it. And then here we have a 4.5. So this one is missing the height. Missing the height. Are they all dividing by 2? Let's double check. This one, dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by a half. So that's dividing by 2. This is dividing by 2. Here we have our dividing by 2. And here we have our dividing by 2. So the one that cannot be used is B, because it's missing the height. Okay, find the area of the triangle. Triangle only. Let me get an orange marker. I'm only wanting the area of this. So I need to know, well, first off, we're finding area. The area, the formula of a triangle is base times the height divided by 2. So I need to know my base and I need to know my height. Well, my base obviously is this 5. So I know area equals 5 times something, my height. My height has to go straight up and down to the base. 8 is the height. 13 is not the height. 13 is the side length, not the same thing. So I'm going to do 5 times 8. I didn't need the 9. This 8 helped us find that 8. Okay? So 5 times 8, divide by 2. So I'm going to do 5 times 8 is 40, divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So our area is 20. Again, the side slant is not the same thing as the height. The height has to go up and down. We're creating that right angle. What is the area of the unshaded section in the picture of the below of the square and isosceles triangle? Well, again, squares underlined. We have to think about what we know about squares. There's no, or every side is the same length, so that helps. Unshaded is the triangle. So I'm finding the area of the triangle. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So I need a base and I need a height. So my base is obviously my 8. My height, again, it's not 5. That's the slant. That is not the height. So my height is going up and down, or it could be along here. Well, we know that this side length is also 8 because it is a square. So I'm going to do 8 times 8. Base times the height, they're both 8, divided by 2. 8 times 8 is 8 squared, which is 64, divided by 2. 64 divided by 2 is 32, I think so. Divided by 2, 32. Yeah, 32, which is answer choice B. Okay, which parallelogram has the same area as this rectangle? So we're talking area. Area of a rectangle equals base times height. Area of a parallelogram equals base times height. It's the same formula. So here I'm multiplying base times the height, 13 times 6. So I need same dimensions, where 13 is my base, 6 is my height. Well, here my base is 9, so it's not A. Here my base is 7, so it's not that one. Here my base is an 8, not that one, which hopefully means D is right. 13 is the base, and 6 is the height. 6 is the height here, 6 is the height here, so D wins. We didn't even have to solve. What is the name of Miss Kavanaugh's son's baseball team? Tyler's baseball team is called the Muck Dogs. Isn't that a weird name? Muck Dogs. Okay, last two. What is the volume? Volume equals area of the base times the height, which we can all think of this as length times width times the height. So this is simply multiplying these three numbers and knowing where that decimal point goes. If I wanted to, I could estimate. Let's say this is actually an 8 instead of 8.2 times 3. Let's say this is actually, let's say it's 7 times 7. We can get close. We know I rounded this up and I rounded this down, so we'll be really, really close. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 times 7